What's going on, everybody? My name is Ben and welcome back to the D-Day Buddy Build. This is episode number 3. Today we are moving forward on the figures. Last episode we went ahead and put these figures together. That was a lot of fun, but now we have to prime and start the painting process. This is all very intimidating to me. I've never painted resin figures before, so, well, let's just give it a try and see what we can do. Now, in terms of priming, we're going to try something new called Zenithal Priming, something I've never done before. Now, the trick, as I understand it, for Zenithal Priming is to hit the entire figure black and then come in with a gray tone, something like this Dark Sea Gray. And then we're going to come in at a 45-degree angle with the airbrush and spray all around the figure, kind of picking out some of the kind of middle sections of the figure. Then we're going to come in and pick out the high points with white at a 90-degree angle to simulate a highlight. At least that's what I understand it to mean. So let's go ahead and get that black paint out and start our very beginnings of the Zenithal priming by hitting all the figures black. So now we have our figures painted in black. I used a Tamiya Flat Black right through the airbrush, nothing fancy there. Overcoated all the figures in that black paint, and so we are ready now to move on to the next stage of our Zenithal priming. That's going to be using gray. Now I picked out a Tamiya Dark Sea Gray. It's not too dark, not too light. I think it's a nice medium shade of gray. We're going to use that for the middle section here. And again, we're going to load up our airbrush with a mixture of that, and we're going to come in here at about a 45-degree angle with our airbrush and just go around the figure and pick out all the details and all the kind of middle sections, leaving the black in the recesses and the low points, and then we'll come back in later on with the white to hit the highlights. So let's go ahead and give it a shot. Let's get that gray into our airbrush and see what we can do. Whew, fingers crossed, guys. Let's do it. All right, so the gray is now nicely shaded around the entire figure, and all the figures are ready to go for the next stage, which is the white highlighting. I'm not sure if you can really tell on camera, but if you tilt the figure a certain direction, you can actually start seeing kind of the darkness in between the folds of the clothes or underneath certain items or underneath his arms, places that you're just not going to get a lot of light. It remains that kind of dark color. And then the gray kind of covers everything else. So at certain angles, the figure looks gray. At certain angles, the figure looks black. But now we're going to come in with the highlight. So we have some Tamiya Flat White right here. We're going to go ahead and load it up into the airbrush, shoot it about a 90-degree angle straight down onto the figure, and pick out all the areas that we think should be highlighted. All right, not too bad. Very strange looking figure right now, but it actually looks pretty cool. So if you look at it straight on here, it looks gray. You know, nothing really that fancy. You flip it over, you look from the underside, it looks black. You flip it over, look down on top of it, it looks white. So it's a really interesting looking system. I've never tried this before, like I've said, and I've watched a couple of videos online and they seem to really explain it well. But who knows if I'm going to actually be able to accomplish it or not. But you know what? I might as well try it because it looked like fun. And so far, it's actually been a lot of fun. But now comes the tricky part. We have to go ahead and mix up some paint and paint these figures with their basic colors. So like for this guy here, we're actually going to be using that Luftwaffe uniform blue. And we're going to make a very, very thin mixture of that blue. And we're going to paint over all of his uniform and his soft cap. Then we might have to go ahead and build up a few layers, but that's okay because I don't want to obscure all the Zenithal priming. So we have our figure down here. We have a paint cup right here. Let's go ahead and grab some of this Vallejo Luftwaffe uniform blue. Drop a little bit of that into the paint cup. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and thin it out so it's very, very thin. We'll just use some regular old water, nothing fancy. I could use rubbing alcohol, but Vallejo doesn't like rubbing alcohol, so I'm going to stick with water. So I think we're just going to pour a little bit of water in here. It's probably too much, but I can always just kind of soak a little bit out of there or add a little bit more paint. Not a big deal. I want this to be super thin though, because we're going to come back now over all the figures and paint everything that needs to be that Luftwaffe uniform blue so it can dry, and then we can move on to the next stages, which would be the black and the other color for the coveralls. So let's go ahead and mix this up, grab our brush, and just see what this is like. Again, first time ever trying this, so who knows how this is going to turn out, but so far it's a lot of fun. Well, that actually turned out to be a really fun process. I know if you take it nice and slow and you really thin out that paint, you can actually maintain that really cool looking Zenithal priming that's below it. I don't know if you can really pick it up on camera, but it's there, at least for me here on my desk. So now we actually have some black paint thinned out with some water and also with a little bit of NATO black as well, because black is really, really stark. NATO black has a little bit of gray in it. I think it's going to work really well in this application. So I've just really thinned it out, and we're going to go ahead and go over all the boots and go over some of the pilot's boots as well. And we're just going to really make sure that we can kind of perform a similar process here with the darker colors. Now this may take a couple applications for sure, because like I said, the paint is super thin. So when we go ahead and paint down on top of that Zenithal, we have hardly any pigment there. But after a couple of applications, we start to build that up slowly, and eventually it looks black. And you can still see some of the lightness behind it and some of the darkness in the recesses. Very, very cool technique. So while doing a little bit of research regarding colors and Luftwaffe uniforms, it seems to be that coveralls could be one of two colors. It could either be a Luftwaffe uniform blue, or it could be a black color. We've opted to go ahead and use black on this guy's coveralls right here to give it a little bit of color variation. I don't know if it's 100% correct, but I think it looks pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and go with it. The soft cap that this gentleman is wearing, I don't know whether to paint that black or to paint that in the Luftwaffe blue. I'm going to go ahead and just paint it Luftwaffe blue and just leave it for right now, but I'm going to do a little bit more research and try to figure out what color that should be. And next episode, if we need to change it, we will. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and just assume that the coveralls go up over the uniform that you'd normally be wearing and that you'd still have your Luftwaffe blue soft peak cap. Through my research, I've also come across some colorized photos of Priller in his uniform, and it would appear that he has a dark brown leather jacket on. So we're going to go ahead and paint this jacket a dark leather brown. I actually took some red brown from Tamiya. I dropped in a little bit of flat black to kind of darken it down a bit, and I dropped in just a couple of drops of the Gunzy gloss. That's the same gloss we used on the A6M III to go ahead and give it that nice glossy finish. I wanted to turn this into somewhat of a semi-gloss paint, just because I don't want it to be flat, and leather is usually slightly shiny, and from the photos it appears to be also semi-gloss. So I've tried that. We'll see if it actually works. And this is how the pilot now looks. As you can see, the leather coat is now painted. It does have a slight semi-gloss sheen to it, and that's what I was going for, so I'm happy there. I've got the black on the shoes, the blue on the cap and on the pants. We're looking pretty decent there. Also on the other figures, the Zenithal Priming has shown up quite a bit more than it has on the pilot. This worker here has quite a bit of shading and highlighting that I didn't do. It's that way because of the Zenithal Priming. So it's a really, really neat technique. I'm going to have to go ahead and play more with it, and hopefully if I do more figures, I can use that technique to even greater success. And the last guy here is just very simple, just black coveralls, nothing fancy. And I've left the cap blue just because I don't know what other color to paint it. So I'll go ahead and check that out in my references and figure out if I need to go ahead and change that to black or if I can leave that Luftwaffe blue. Otherwise, the Zenithal Priming is really coming through on this figure as well. Might be kind of hard for you to see on the camera. I don't know if the camera is picking up all the subtle changes, but you can really get the idea that there's light shades, medium shades, and dark shades of color. So really very cool technique. But anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it quits for today. Thank you so much for joining us here on the D-Day Buddy Build episode number 3. Next time, we're going to come on back, finish off these figures, at least with the basic colors, and see where we go from there. So you know the drill. Until next time, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, and we'll see you back here next week on episode 4 of the D-Day Buddy Build here on Ben Builds. Thank you so much, everybody, and we'll see you soon.